Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League World Cup final preview. Australia versus Samoa, Sunday morning, 3 a.m. I believe the game is, the time it kicks off. What a game it's going to be. I'm joined by Warriors NRL fanatics. Fanatics, thanks for taking the time out of your day, or I should say night, to come on the channel and preview the World Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Nick, for having me on. It's great to be on your channel again, and looking forward to previewing this game between Australia and Samoa. It's going to be a very interesting game. Actually, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very intrigued by it, bro. And look, like I said before, this game is on Sunday morning. November 20 kicks off at 3 a.m. for us here in New South Wales. For you up there in Queensland, I believe it's a 2 a.m. start. So not as bad in Queensland as it is for me here in New South Wales, but it's going to be a late night. Nonetheless, Australia and Samoa, what a game it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to the World Cup final. Australia have obviously been the best team in the tournament. Samoa, underdogs, a pretty interesting underdog story they've got. They've done well ever since that game against England, where they've beaten by 60-6 or whatever the scoreline was, and they've bounced back. And I don't usually say this, bro, but we'll get into it. I think the Samoa coach, Matt Parrish, who was under enormous pressure after the Samoa game, has done very well to get this team up and going and get them to the final. So credit to him. But before we get into the World Cup preview, the final preview, this is the last rugby league game until February, so we're all going to be dying for rugby league after this weekend. Hello to the live chat. We've got about 15 people here at the moment, and the chat's starting to build up, starting to get a bit of a crowd. We've got TJC Sports here, as he always is. Great support of the channel. We've got Jay Evans, SS Storm fan, Cody Games PlayStation. We've got Bosky, Pro Enzo Vids. We've got Zenpai. We've got Steve G. The crowd is starting to look very, very healthy for this absolutely fantastic Thursday night, 8:19 p.m., November 17. It's absolutely fantastic. Fanatics, mate, let's get into the World Cup final preview. Now, Australia have, I believe they've announced their squad. I don't think they've named the 17, but they've announced their squad for the game this weekend. I'm just trying to find it up on the screen here in front of me if I can find the bastard. But it's pretty much the same team that they've gone with every week. Mate, honestly, but give me a moment to get the team back up on the screen here. But mate, Samoa, what a great underdog story it's been for them.
Yeah, it's been a massive turnaround from that first game against England where they got absolutely smashed, 66-6, I believe it was, and I had my doubts. I had my doubts on Samoa after that game, no doubt about it. But they've come in strong at the back end of the tournament and great timing as well. And beating Tonga in that first week in the quarterfinals and then beating England and that golden point thriller there. So it's been a massive turnaround by Samoa actually. And Matt Parrish has been criticised quite a lot, and he's done a great job to get them to where they are right now in this final this weekend.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, you have a look at Samoa. They've got a really good side together there. And, here's the thing, the Hammer. He's an X-Factor type player. He got injured in the first game. He hasn't returned. He's not playing another game. They lost their hooker, Danny Levi. Henlon Ueli got ruled out, I think, after the first game. So Samoa have lost a lot, and they've come together as a group, and They've done extremely well to get to this stage, and it's their first ever final in the World Cup. It's their first ever World Cup final. So, look, I supported England in the World Cup because of my heritage. I was a little bit disappointed with the way England were defeated, but you just take it on the chin and move on. The way Samoa celebrated, yes, some of it may have been over the top. Some of it may have been a bit ridiculous, but that's the first time that's ever happened. So the Samoa fans and the Samoan people themselves, they do deserve to celebrate and, have a fantastic time. But this is going to be interesting on the weekend, bro. Now, I'm going to go through the Australian squad. They have released it. I'm just getting it up here on Fox League here. So their squad is pretty similar to the one they had against New Zealand last week. Josh Adokar, Regan Campbell-Gillard, Paddy Carrigan, Daly Cherry-Evans, Nathan Cleary, Ruben Cotter, Angus Crichton, Tino Fasul-Malawi, Harry Grant, Val Holmes, Ben Hunt, Liam Martin, Latrell Mitchell, Cameron Munster, Cameron Murray, Jake Trbojevic, Jack White, and Isaiah Yeo, and the captain, James Tedesco. With the Kangaroos team, Fanatics, do you think someone like Ruben Cotter was a little bit unlucky not to be involved in that game against New Zealand last week?
Yeah, look, I thought, I mean, the Australian squad they named last week was pretty strong, and not shocked that this week they've named pretty much the same squad anyway, so it doesn't come as a surprise. Ruben Cotter's a good player, but I don't know where you fit him in the side at the moment. So yeah, I mean, Australia got abundance of players to pick from, and they've got a strong squad. So yeah, that's personally what I believe. But it's a good squad nonetheless.
Look, I think it's a little bit disappointing that Ruben Cotter's not there. He was arguably top 5 prop of the year. He had a fantastic season. Jake Trbojevic. Now, I think Jake Trbojevic is a phenomenal athlete, one of the best ball-playing forwards in the world.
Yep.
But he seemed to be a bit out of shape last week. He looked a little bit vulnerable. I think someone who's got a bit of energy and a bit of speed like Ruben Cotter should have maybe been in the 17. I don't know about Jake Trbojevic.
Up Australia.
That's always been the Broncos. If you haven't checked out the basketball vlog, I went and watched this game yesterday. That is now on the channel if you haven't checked that out yet. Look, I feel Ruben Cotter is a little bit hard done by here. I think he should be in the squad over Jake Trbojevic. Now, I could be wrong in saying this. Jake Trbojevic, he might make 40 tackles in the weekend and have a blinder. So I could eat my words on that, but I feel like Ruben Cotter should be in the team somewhere. That's just what I reckon.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the halfback for Australia. Nathan Cleary, by all reports, he will be the halfback. It will be him up against his Panthers teammate in the Samoan side, Jerome Luai. Luai versus Cleary. It's the big matchup for the game. Also, you've got Tedesco versus Joseph Suoli'i. So you've got a couple of players who played together at Clubland in the NRL up against each other there in the World Cup final. What would you say, Warriors and Fanatics, is the key matchup? Do you think it's Luai versus Cleary? Do you think it's Tedesco versus Suoli'i? Do you think it's something else, Papali and Paulo up front? What would you say is the key matchup for this World Cup final on the weekend?
Yeah, well, I think it's got to be the halves. I mean, you got Jerome Luai up against Nathan Cleary. I mean, two guys that play with each other in Clubland at Penrith and won premierships. So you got to say that's the key matchup for me if you're looking at it from a point of view of who's important in that. So yeah, it's got to be the spine for sure. I mean, Luai versus Cleary, it's going to be a very tasty matchup for me. So to see who gets on top of each other. So that's a matchup that I'm looking forward to.
I think that probably is the main matchup, although Tedesco versus Suwali is a very good matchup as well. A matchup that has not been talked about at all, Fanatics, that I think is one that's going to be a cracker. Latrell Mitchell up against Stephen Crichton on the weekend. That is going to be a battle. Latrell's been playing on the left-hand side. Crichton has been playing on the right-hand side. So you're going to have Latrell and Addo Carr against Stephen Crichton and Brian Toto. That is going to be a phenomenal matchup, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. You know, Stephen Crichton I thought was great last week against the against England. You know, he was probably one of the main reasons why they got up. Even though Luai had a great game as well, but I thought Stephen Crichton was outstanding as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good battle there. And Brian Toto as well. I think Brian Toto's had a pretty good tournament. I mean, he's had some great games along the way of the tournament as well. So, yeah, I mean, that matchup there is going to be exciting in itself to watch also.
Absolutely, Brian. Apologies for the 5-second freeze. Yeah. The internet decided to shit the bed for a moment. Apologies about the Wi-Fi connection. But you're 100% correct, bro. It's going to be a phenomenal matchup. I'm really looking forward to this game on the weekend. It's going to be a cracker. Australia up against Samoa. Now, I want to ask you this, bro. If Samoa are going to beat Australia on the weekend, if they're going to beat Australia and win their first ever World Cup final, how is Samoa going to outdo Australia? How are they going to beat Australia in this game?
Well, I think Samoa, they can't play too structured. If they're going to play, if they play structured against the Australian side, then Australia are just going to, you know, pile on the points. In my opinion, I think Australia's just going to be too classy. So what Samoa need to do is, I think they need to go out there with a plan where they can just, you know, throw the ball around, a few offloads, you know, just trouble the Australian side. You know, you do the basics, yes, kick to the corners and that, put a bit of pressure on, but throw a few offloads in there, just some second phase footy, and obviously they can't make mistakes as well. You can't give, you know, easy possession to Australia, because we see with Australia that they make you pay. The likes of Josh Adokar in there and Munster and all those players, Cleary as well. You know, you just can't give those players any initiatives. So, yeah, just do the basics right, but also, you know, throw a bit of second phase footy at this Australian side.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Look, I think I'm quite with you. I do agree with you about Samoa. I think if they're going to win, offloads from Junior Paulo are going to be very, very important. Papali as well. Offloads will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Papali does start. He's been coming off the bench quite a bit lately. So I wonder if Spencer Linney will start the game or Royce Hunt. They've been going with Royce Hunt, so it'll be very interesting to see if they do switch that again. But it's the final. You've got to go with Papali and Paulo in the starting front row up against Australia. You've got to start them two together. But yeah, look, for Samoa to win, their defense is going to have to be at their best, bro. Their defense, Samoa's defense in this World Cup has been pretty average. I mean, obviously they conceded 60 against England. I conceded 26 against England the other day, where they were lucky to win by that field goal. They conceded 18 to Tonga, which is 3 tries. They conceded a couple of points against a few of the other nations as well. So defense for Samoa is going to have to be at its absolute best. And the kicking game from Jerome Luai and Anthony Milford is going to have to be first class. It's going to have to be at its best. It really will. And if I'm Luai and Milford, I'm kicking on tackle 3 and turning them around and trying to trap them down there in their own end. So I'm playing unpredictable. The other thing for Samoa that worries me a little bit, Fanatics, is Palmunu Brown will not be playing. So Chanel Harris-Tavita will be playing hooker and potentially his last rugby league game for a couple of years, because he's going to tour the world or whatever he's going to do. He's going on, I don't know what he's doing. But can they win with Harris-Tavita at hooker? Because they don't really have someone on the bench who can come on and play a bit of hooker now.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. I mean, Chanel Harris-Tavita is not really a hooker, is he? No. So he's played halves. He's played a bit of fullback as well this year in the NRL. So yeah, look, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. You know, I kind of wish him all the best, because as a Warriors fan, I love to see him go out and on a high in his final game in the rugby league. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a question mark, isn't it? Palmunu Brown is a big loss to Samoa's side. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And I think with Chanel Harris-Tavita as well, he's a very good defender. So he'll hold his own, and I think he will defend quite well. But for the whole 80 minutes, you know, you got the likes of Carrigan, Trebojevic, Campbell Gillard, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton starting to run through the middle. Tino Fasul, Malawi off the bench as well. I don't know if Harris Tavita will last the full 80 in defence, but it's going to be very intriguing to see how he goes on the weekend. All right, now for the Kangaroos, if they're going to beat Samoa, how do the Kangaroos defeat Samoa on the weekend, Fanatics?
Well, it's just how Australia played the whole tournament, just the same old game plan that they've been going with throughout the tournament. Like I think last week against the Kiwis, I think Australia were a little bit frustrated out of the game a little bit. I think we saw them make a few mistakes as well. We didn't see Australia as fluent, like the combinations weren't really as fluent as they've been throughout the tournament. So it's similar to what the Kiwis were facing throughout the tournament with the combinations not gelling. It felt like it was the complete opposite in that game. So I think Australia just need to go back to the way they played in the previous games.
Yeah.
And I think just that's what works for them best. The key players like Tedesco, Adokar, Val Holmes, Cleary and Munster, the spine, Harry Grant. I think Harry Grant's had a very good tournament, actually.
Same here, bro. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree. Look, I think if Australia are going to win this game, they got to not allow Samoa to frustrate them. Last week against New Zealand, New Zealand frustrated the living hell out of Australia. Australia got their shit together in that second half, but if I'm Australia, I'm looking for a very, very fast, dominant start. And I think the Kangaroos will probably start fast. I think it comes down to the basics, doesn't it? Like, I don't know about Val Holmes and who's the other winger they've got there? Fucking God, I've gone blank. He's playing on the other wing for Australia.
It's not Adokar.
Adokar's on the left. Who's the other winger?
Left.
Keep forgetting. Kangaroos have a winger. I'll find out. I keep fucking forgetting who it is. God, going blank on this. But he had a shocker last week, I reckon. Hang on, I'll tell you. How do I forget this? Just a dull moment from Nick from Australia. Who the fuck was it? Adokar, Latrell. Yeah, I don't know. I keep forgetting who the other winger is. Oh no, Val was on the wing and Whiten was in the centre.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies about that, bro. They're not right side players. Jack Whiten played right centre last week and played like shit. Val Holmes did a job, but Jack Whiten on the right side of the field is so horrible. So Tim Lafai is up against him on the weekend. So Tim Lafai may lick his chops about that. But Jack Whiten in the centres, I thought he was pretty ordinary last week in the centres, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he played that well. Yeah, Jack Whiten.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But this is going to be interesting, bro. I think if Australia win, I think that the basics early on, they have a dominant start. They go extremely hard the first 20 minutes. I think if Australia get the basics right, they have too much quality They have too much quality for Samoa. You've got Latrell, you've got Teddy, you've got the Fox, you've got Munster, you've got Cleary, Ben Hunt, Grant, Carrigan, fucking you name it. They've got too much quality, Australia, if they're all on. If they're at their best, they're going to win. So it's going to be intriguing to see how this game goes on the weekend, but Australia look the goods. Now, just in case you guys don't know, the odds for the Rugby League World Cup final on the weekend, you can see down the bottom there on the screen, Australia are $1.10. Samoa are at $6. So if you like Samoa, $6 is a very, very juicy price for them. So if you like Samoa, guys, there's the value for them at $6. Australia, obviously, $1.10 favourite. Fanatics, I want your prediction for the game, my friend. Who wins the World Cup final on the weekend? Give me a first try scorer, a score prediction, and a man of the match, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I personally would love to see Samoa win it. I mean, I'd love to see an underdog win it, but I just think it's going to be a bit too much for Samoa. I think this is the first time they've ever been in a World Cup final, and Australia's been there and done it before, and I think the experience will get up for Australia. So I think Australia will be too good for this, Samoan side, and I'll go Australia. Yep. I'll say Australia 32 points to 10.
That's fair enough. What about the first try scorer and man of the match, bro? Who do you reckon?
First try scorer, I'm going to go Josh Adokar. Josh Adokar's
break the record. Break the record. First try.
Yep, I reckon he'll break the record. So I reckon he'll score first. Yeah. Anytime try scorer, I'll probably say maybe Cameron Munster. Cameron Munster to score.
Sounds good, bro. Well, look, I think Australia win, and I think Australia win very well. I can't see Samoa winning at all, unless Australia have a completion rate of fucking 50%, and the completion rate is like something like 25 from 44.
Yep.
I can't see Australia losing. They've got too much quality. They've got too much class. They're a level above. Australia will be far too good on the weekend. I'm going to go with Australia by 30. I reckon I win by 30, bro. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Australia to win 38 points to 8. That's my score prediction. 38-8 Australia. First try scorer. I reckon Latrell Mitchell will score the very first try in the World Cup final. Anytime try scorer, I'll go with the Fox, Josh Adokar, to break the record. If I had to go for a roughie anytime try scorer, I'd probably throw in someone like Ben Hunt to maybe go over as well. And man of the match, I think James Tedesco will be man of the match on the weekend, bro.
Yeah, that's not a bad prediction actually. I really like that.
And I've got I've got a halftime score prediction. So I said Australia to win the game, 38 points to 8. I reckon halftime will be Australia 20-0.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you, bro? What about you? Halftime prediction.
I probably say maybe Australia 24 points to 0. I think someone may not score a try in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just got to say to all the Samoa supporters out there that are giving into rugby league history, that are just constantly picking on him, just being a bunch of fucking idiots. Seriously, suck on that. Like, let's be honest here. If you go back and watch Rugby League History's review on the England versus Samoa game on the weekend, what did Rugby League History actually say that was so negative about Samoa? They won the game, and that was it. So to all the Samoa fans out there that are angry at Rugby League History, I reckon they should apologise to him. Rugby League History's been getting a lot of horrible messages. So if you're one of those derricks that have gone out of your way or carried on a little bit, you should apologise to Rugby League History, because that was ridiculous on the weekend. For all the stuff that he copped was beyond a joke. Beyond a joke. Anyway, Fanatics, we think Australia will win well on the weekend.
Yeah, but, they'll be too good.
That'll be far too good. Anyway, bro, thanks for coming on for the World Cup preview. I really appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on, Nick. And I think Australia obviously will no doubt be hot favourites to win the final on Sunday morning. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But good luck to Samoa. But thanks for having me on.
No worries, bro. I really appreciate your time tonight, and to everybody in the live chat, thanks for tuning in to the review. The preview, I should say. Fucking review. The preview. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe. Go and check out the YouTube channel of Warriors NRL Fanatics. It's been a fantastic World Cup. Obviously, Australia versus Samoa on the weekend is going to be interesting. If you haven't, if you reckon Australia will win or Samoa will win, let me know in the comment section below after the stream. If you missed the live stream, make sure you let me know your predictions in the comment section below. But anyway, have a great night, everyone. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I think we're going to do the podcast tomorrow night or something. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic night. Until then, see you later.